This video is about the alpha loved her soul, but she was the daughter of a killer. If this story captivates you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. The moon hung high, casting an ethereal silver glow over the sprawling forest of Alderspine. It was the night of the blood moon, a sacred time for the Fenwick pack, where instincts surged and emotions ran wild. As the pack gathered, anticipation crackled in the air like static electricity. At the heart of the gathering stood Calder, the Alpha. His presence was magnetic, muscles taut under the weight of responsibility and the longing that gnawed at his soul. This night was meant for celebration, yet a shadow loomed over him. Mira, the daughter of a killer, was among them. Mira's heart raced as she walked through the trees, her breath mingling with the crisp night air. She had always felt different, an outsider within her own pack. The whispers of her lineage, her father, once a feared rogue, echoed in her mind. Would they ever accept her? Mira, the voice called from behind. It was Theo, her childhood friend and the bait of the Fenwick pack. He approached with a warm smile, but his eyes reflected concern. "Are you all right? You seem distant." "I am fine," she replied, forcing a smile. "Just the blood moon. It brings everything to the surface, doesn't it?" Theo nodded, his brow furrowed. "You know they don't blame you for your father's sins. You carry the heart of a true wolf." There was a softness in his tone, but she could hear the unspoken tension. He was worried about her. Mira's gaze drifted to the fire where Calder stood, his silhouette framed by flames, fierce and commanding. He was the embodiment of raw power, yet she had glimpsed the gentleness beneath his hard exterior. She felt an undeniable pull toward him, a connection she couldn't shake. As the moon began its ascent, Calder caught sight of Mira. Their eyes locked, and time seemed to suspend round them. In that fleeting moment, all the pain of her lineage faded, replaced by an intensity she had never known. He stepped forward, and her heart raced with a mix of longing and fear. "Mira," Calder's deep voice rumbled, breaking the tension. "Come join me." She hesitated, her instincts screaming at her to resist. Yet the magnetic force between them was undeniable. She stepped forward, feeling the eyes of the pack upon her, whispering, judging. "Tonight we embrace our true selves," Calder continued, his tone fervent. "This blood moon is a reminder of our strength and our unity. Let it guide you." Mira felt her pulse quicken. "You speak of unity, Alpha, yet my blood holds darkness. How can I stand among you?" Calder's gaze softened, revealing the vulnerability hidden beneath his alpha facade. "Your father's choices do not define you. You are not him, Mira. You are light in the shadows." Just then, a sharp howl pierced the night, breaking the spell. The pack turned their heads, alert and restless. An outsider had crossed into their territory, a rogue wolf drawn by the magic of the blood moon. "Stay back," Calder commanded, his authority echoing through the clearing. His protective instincts surged, and the atmosphere thickened with tension. But in the midst of the chaos, Mira felt the weight of his gaze anchoring her amidst the storm. As the rogue emerged from the shadows, Mira's heart sank. It was Rafe, a wolf known for his cunning and ruthlessness. "Calder, what a pleasure," he sneered, his eyes glinting with malice. "I've come to collect what is due." "What do you want, Rafe?" Calder's voice was low, dangerous. The daughter of the infamous killer, Rafe smirked, his gaze sliding toward Mira. "You know, it is a shame to waste such potential. She could be a valuable asset if only you were willing to let her go." Mira's breath caught in her throat. "What do you mean?" she asked, her voice trembling. "Traitors are best dealt with swiftly." Rafe's eyes sparkled with a mix of threat and invitation. "Join me, Mira. We can unleash the power within you, embrace your destiny." Calder stepped forward, a growl rumbling in his chest. "You will not lay a hand on her, Rafe. She belongs with us." Mira's heart wavered between fear and longing. Rafe's offer was tempting, a promise of power and a chance to escape her past. But Calder's fierce loyalty and fierce love ignited a fire within her she couldn't ignore. "Rafe, I'll never join you," she declared, her voice steady now. "I may be the daughter of a killer, but I am not a traitor." Rafe's expression darkened. "You'll regret this, Mira. The blood moon reveals true intentions, and it has shown me yours. You are merely a pawn in a game you don't understand." With a flick of his wrist, Rafe vanished into the surrounding forest, leaving an unsettling silence behind. The pack murmured in confusion, eyes darting between their leader and the girl who had stood against a rogue. Calder turned to Mira, his eyes ablaze with admiration. "What you did, it was brave." "I don't know if it was brave or foolish," she replied, feeling the weight of his praise. "I just know I can run from who I am." Then Dante, he urged, stepping closer until the heat radiating from him enveloped her. You are stronger than you realize. The bond we share with is deeper than anything I've felt. Tension hung in the air as their faces brushed, the connection pulsing between them like a heartbeat. The pull of destiny was undeniable, yet the specter of her heritage loomed over them. What if they never accept me? She whispered, the fear spilling from her heart. What if I am forever seen as my father's daughter? Calder's gaze softened, the fear's alpha now a comforting presence. You have a choice. Show them your heart. Show them who you truly are. Just as their lips were about to brush, Theo interrupted, a sense of urgency in his voice. Calder, the pack needs you. Brave won't he stop until he gets what he wants. Calder's expression hardened, and he stepped back, the distance between them suddenly palpable. I'll deal with him. Don't let fear dictate your worth, Mira. As he turned to lead the pack, Mira felt a shot of longing pierce through her heart. She had found something precious, a connection that defied her past, yet it felt just out of reach. Calder, she called, desperation rising. What if I choose to fight for us? His gaze lingered on her, a mixture of determination and desire. Then fight, but no, the path ahead is filled with shadows. With those parting words, he vanished into the depths of the forest, leaving Mira standing amidst the gathering emotions swelling around her like a tempest. She was the daughter of a killer, yet she yearned for love that could defy destiny, a love that could illuminate even the darkest of paths. And as the blood moon shone down, illuminating her soul, Mira knew the battle for her heart had just begun. Mira stood alone in the clearing, the distant howls of the pack fading into the forest embrace. The blood moon hung heavy in the sky, its crimson hue mocking her turmoil. She could feel the weight of her lineage, a darkness that threatened to swallow her whole. But tonight she had stood against a rogue, bold act that had surprised even herself. Mira, Theo's voice broke through her reverie. He stepped closer, concern etched on his face. Are you okay? I know this is overwhelming. Overwhelming doesn't even begin to cover it, she replied, her voice trembling slightly. I stood up to Rafe, and now I don't know what comes next. Theo's brow furrowed, and he crossed his arms, leaning toward her with intensity. You did what needed to be done. Rafe would have used you as a pawn. You showed your strength tonight, even if the pack can't see it yet. But what if they never see it? Mira's heart ached as she spoke, her hands trembling in front of her. What if they only see my father's blood? Then show them who you are. Theo's voice was firm, filled with a conviction that momentarily steadied her. You have to give them a chance to see the real you. Mira nodded, though doubts still clouded her mind. The echo of Rafe's words lingered like a bitter taste on her tongue. Asterisk, you were merely a pawn in a game you don't understand. Asterisk, she clenched her fists, determination rising in her chest. Asterisk, I want to let him to find me. Asterisk. Just then, a rustle in the trees snapped her attention. Calder emerged from the shadows, his silhouette majestic against the moonlight. Her heart raced at the sight of him, the fierce alpha who had shown her kindness amidst the judgment. Calder, she breathed, caught between longing and fear. Mira, he said, his voice low and soothing, as if he could sense the storm inside her. I need to speak with you. Theo stepped back, leaving them in a fragile bubble of intimacy. I'll give you a moment, he murmured, casting a glance at Calder that spoke volumes of concern. Calder's eyes held a fierce intensity, and he stepped closer, the air crackling between them. What you did tonight was more than brave, it was everything I hoped you would be. Yet here I am, the daughter of a killer, Mira whispered, shame creeping in as she recalled Rafe's taunts. How can anyone truly accept me? Calder reached out, his fingers brushing against her cheek, sending a shiver through her. You are not your father. You are part of this pack of me. The blood moon binds us, Mira, not just in destiny but in spirit. Her gaze burned into his, the connection igniting like a flame. And what if that bond is a curse? What if I can live up to what you need? Calder's breath caught, and for a moment, vulnerability flickered across his face. I need you to believe in yourself. The instincts we share, they run deeper than blood. Do you feel it? Yes, she admitted, the truth resounding within her. But it is so complicated. The complicated doesn't mean it is unworthy, he replied, his voice fierce with conviction. Mira, I've seen the light in you that others overlook. Embrace it. Before she could respond, a distant howl shattered the moment, a warning call that sent a shiver up her spine. Rafe, she breathed, her heart racing with dread. He is coming for me. Calder's expression hardened, the fierce protector surfacing once more. Then we cannot wait. I'll gather the pack. We'll prepare for whatever he brings. Calder, what if they want to stand with me? She pleaded, anxiety twisting in her gut. They will. You've already shown your worth tonight, he assured her. But we need to confront Rafe together. He can fracture us. As he turned to rally the pack, Mira felt a storm of emotions within her: fear, love, and an unshakable determination. She was not merely a shadow of her father, she was a wolf of the Fenwick pack, and perhaps that was enough. The pack gathered under the blood moon, tension palpable as Calder laid out their plan. Mira stood at the forefront, heart pounding in her chest, surrounded by wolves who had once whispered about her lineage. She felt their scrutiny, their doubt, but she also felt Calder beside her, unwavering in his belief. Tonight, we protect what is ours, Calder declared, his voice resonating through the gathering. Rafe seeks to divide us, to exploit our fears. Together, we are stronger than any rogue. The pack murmured in agreement, and Mira's heart soared. And I will fight for my place among you, she said, the words bursting forth. I refuse to be a pawn any longer. A murmur of surprise rippled through the pack, but Calder's proud gaze angered her. That is the spirit, Mira. You are not just the daughter of a killer, you are the soul of our pack. With renewed energy, the wolves howled, a call that echoed through the night, unified and fierce. And as they transformed under the blood moon, Mira felt the essence of the pack meld with her own, a network of strength and courage. But as they ventured deeper into the forest, the shadows grew darker, the winds carrying whispers of danger. He is close, Calder warned, his voice low as they moved stealthily through the trees. Suddenly, Rafe's mocking laughter echoed in the distance, chilling them to the bone. Ah, the noble Fenwick pack, how quaint, he called, stepping from the shadows, flanked by a band of rogue wolves. Have you come to surrender, Mira? Mira's spine stiffened, but Calder stepped forward, his posture radiating authority. We were not here to surrender. You will not take her from us, Rafe. Rafe's eyes narrowed, smirking as he glanced over the gathered wolves. You think they will defend the daughter of a traitor? You underestimate the power of blood, Calder. Enough. Mira shouted, rising to the challenge, her heart racing with adrenaline. I will not be judged by my lineage. I will fight for my family, my pack. Rafe's laughter echoed, but within it lay a hint of rage. Then let us see if you truly have the spirit of a Fenwick. He launched at her, and the pack erupted into chaos. Calder was by her side in an instant, and as they fought together, their movements became a dance, each anticipating the other's instincts. Mira's heart raced as she battled against the rogue wolves, a spirit ignited with each blow. But Rafe was relentless, and as she faced him once more, she felt the weight of her lineage heavy on her shoulders. You'll never escape your past, Mira, he taunted, striking her with a fierce blow. She stumbled, but quickly regained her footing, fury coursing through her veins. You don't know me. I am not my father, and I will not be defined by his sins. With a howl, she charged, feeling the power of the pack behind her, their spirits entwined in a brilliant display of unity. Rafe faltered, surprised by her strength, and for the first time she saw fear flicker in his eyes. The battle raged round them, each wolf fighting for their place, for love, for acceptance. Calder fought beside her, their bond deepening with every passing moment. And as Mira landed a decisive blow against Rafe, the rogue's body hit the ground, the threat momentarily subdued. Together, Calder breathed, capturing her gaze. We are unstoppable. With every heartbeat, Mira understood that love was not merely a bond, it was a force, a destiny that transcended bloodlines. They had faced darkness and emerged stronger, their spirits entwined, unbreakable. As the blood moon shone down upon them, Mira finally embraced the truth within her. She was not just a product of her past, she was the architect of her future, fierce daughter of the Fenwick pack, guided by love and light. In that moment, the pack howled in triumph, their voices mingling with the moonlight, a symphony of strength. No longer a shadow of her father, Mira stood tall, a beacon of hope, ready to embrace whatever destiny lay ahead. The aftermath of the battle hung heavy in the air like a lingering storm, the scent of victory mingling with the acrid smell of blood. Mira stood among her pack, breathless and trembling, the weight of what they had accomplished settling in her bones. Calder's fierce gaze remained locked on her, a mixture of pride and something deeper shimmering beneath the surface. You fought well, he said, stepping closer, his voice low and raw with emotion. You were more than I ever imagined. Mira felt a rush of warmth flood her cheeks, but beneath it lay the cold tendrils of doubt. But what does it mean? I fought for the pack, for you, yet I still feel the shadows of my past creeping in. Calder reached out, brushing a strand of hair from her face, sending sparks jolting through her. You defeated Rafe, Mira. You stood against him when no one else would. You showed everyone what you truly are. But what if they still see me as the daughter of a killer? She whispered, her voice trembling with vulnerability. What if they can never look beyond that? He stepped closer, their bodies nearly touching, the heat between them palpable. You must give them a chance. You must give yourself a chance. You are more than your bloodline. You are fire and heart. Just then, Theo approached, his brow furrowed with concern as he surveyed the aftermath. Call it, the pack needs to regroup. We can let Rayfest ban linger. He will return with more rogues. Then we will prepare. We've shown them what we are capable of. Calder replied, his voice steady, but the intensity of his gaze remained on Mira. And we will protect what is ours. Mira's heart twisted with conflicting emotions. She wanted to step into the light, to embrace the future with Calder, but the haunting whispers of her heritage clung to her like a shroud. What if they never accept me? She asked, the words barely escaping her lips. Theo, sensing her turmoil, stepped forward. Mira, you've proven yourself tonight. The pack fought alongside you, not behind you. They saw your strength. Strength doesn't erase the past, she murmured, looking down at the ground, the weight of torment heavy in her chest. It doesn't change who I am. Calder's hand found hers, grounding her as the cool night air swirled around them. You are not defined by your father's actions. You are a wolf of this pack, and you carry the heart of a leader. Before she could respond, a low growl echoed from the shadows. The tension crackled anew as Rayfest's voice drifted back to them, taunting and filled with malice. Did you really think I'd let you win so easily, Calder? You've merely delayed the inevitable. Mira's heart raced as Rafe stepped back into the clearing, flanked by a new cadre of rogue wolves, their eyes glinting with malice. I told you, my dear Mira, you are destined for greatness. Unleash it with me, and together we can rule our fates. Calder's grip tightened around her hand. You will not take her, Rafe. You are outnumbered, and you will find no allies here. A wicked smile curled Rafe's lips. You think numbers matter? I can see the doubt in your pack's eyes. They were still unsure about her being with you. He pointed at the gathered wolves, his words cutting deep. She is the daughter of a killer, a legacy of betrayal. Muff, Mira shouted, stepping forward. I may be the daughter of a rogue, but I stand for so much more than that. I am part of the Fenwick pack. Rafe's laughter echoed, dark and hollow. Do you hear that? Even she doesn't believe it. The past will always claw its way back to you, Mira. The pack shifted uneasily, whispers reverberating through the trees. Calder's fierce glare held steady, but she could see doubt flickering in the eyes of a few. Mira, he said, his voice lowering, stay behind me. No, she replied, her heart swelling with fierce determination. I will not hide from my truth any longer. With that declaration, she stepped in front of Calder, her heart pounding with conviction. But Rafe, you don't know the strength that flows through my veins, the legacy I've chosen for myself. Rafe's gaze narrowed, and he snarled, You think you can defy me? You are nothing without your pack, and I will show them just how weak you truly are. As the tension mounted, the pack prepared for battle, the air thick with anticipation. Calder's voice cut through the noise, filled with authority. Fight for what you believe in, Mira. You are more than a shadow, you are light. Mira turned to her pack, feeling the energy of their unity flow through her. I want let fear define my destiny, she declared, her voice ringing true. I am a Fenwick, and I will fight for my family. With those words, the pack erupted into a howl, fierce and united. Mira felt the bond strengthen, the power of their connection igniting a fire within her. She faced Rafe, fearlessly staring into the eyes of her tormentor, and charged alongside her pack. The battle was fierce, a whirlwind of claws and teeth, but Mira fought with a relentless spirit. Every strike she landed felt like a declaration of freedom, a severing of the chains that bound her to her past. Rafe was relentless, his cunning and agility challenging her at every turn. Mira! Calder's voice rang out through the chaos, fiercely protective. Stay close! But a rogue lunged at her from behind, and she spun, narrowly evading, but not before feeling the sharpness of claws graze her side. A howl of pain escaped her lips, but she didn't falter. Each moment of struggle fueled her resolve. Your bloodline means nothing, she shouted, the adrenaline surging through her. I will not be ashamed. With a fierce determination, she pushed forward, feeling the pack rally around her. Together, they fought against Rafe and his band, a powerful surge of unity coursing through the clearing. And when the time came, with every ounce of strength she possessed, Mira faced Rafe once more. Your reign of darkness ends here, she cried, charging at him. With a swift, decisive strike, she knocked him off balance. But he was quick, recovering and striking back, a snarl on his lips. You think you've won, he spat, his eyes glinting with fury. I'll never let you go. But Mira was done letting the past dictate her future. I will not be a pawn in your game, she yelled, channeling every ounce of power, every wound, every fear into a single, fierce movement. She struck him down, the weight of her decisions crashing into him like a tidal wave. As Rafe crumpled to the ground, the pack erupted in howls of triumph, a symphony of victory soaring through the night. Mira stood, chest heaving, the darkness that had loomed over her finally lifting. Calder rushed to her side, pride radiating from his every pore. "You did it, Mira. You re one of us now and always." Mira turned to the pack, their expressions a mix of awe and respect. "I am not defined by my past. I am a Fenwick, and I fight for my family." As the moonlight bathed them, the bond between them strengthened, a mystical connection that transcended bloodlines. Calder took her hand, their fingers intertwining, and in that moment Mira understood. She was not just the daughter of a killer, she was a fierce warrior, a protector, and a beacon of hope. The sounds of their victory echoed into the night, a promise of unity and strength. And as they stood together, hearts entwined, the blood moon glowed above, a reminder of their journey, of the love that had sparked amidst the shadows, guiding them home. The remnants of the battle faded into the cool night air, leaving behind an echo of victory that still coursed through Mira's veins. She stood amidst her pack, feeling the weight of their gazes. Awe, respect, and something deeper simmered just beneath the surface. Each heartbeat reminded her of what she had fought for, the right to be seen, to belong. Yet the vestiges of doubt flickered like shadows along the edges of her mind. Calder stood beside her, a fierce guardian, pride etched into every line of his face. "You did it, Mira," he said, his voice rich with emotion. "You re one of us now and always." Mira turned to him, her heart racing at the warmth in his gaze. "But can they truly see me? Can I ever escape the shadow of my past?" He stepped closer, the scent of pine and earth enveloping her as he brushed the stray hair behind her ear. "You've proven your strength not just with your claws, but with your spirit. The pack will come to understand." Yet as she scanned the faces of her packmates, uncertainty flickered in their eyes. "What if they still see me as the daughter of a killer?" she whispered, the confession a fragile thread pulled taut. "What if I am forever seen as a traitor?" Calder's expression softened, his voice lowering to a near whisper as if sharing a secret. "Then you must show them, not through words alone but through actions. You've already begun that journey tonight." Mira's heart swelled and twisted simultaneously. She had fought for her place, yet could their acceptance be as simple as a battle won? "I want them to see me as I am," she said, her voice trembling with vulnerability, "not just as the daughter of my father. I am a Fenwick. I can be more than just blood." Calder nodded, his hand enveloping hers, grounding her against the tide of her fears. "Then embrace it, Mira. Embrace your truth. You are fire and heart, and that is what makes you a true wolf." But her gaze fell, focusing on the ground beneath her. "And what if the pack splits? What if they choose to follow Rafe's twisted vision? I can't bear the thought of losing you for them." "Rafe is defeated for now, but he will return, and we need to prepare," he said, the authority in his voice both comforting and commanding. "We'll all face him together, not only as warriors, but as a family." Family. The word hung between them, a promise and a challenge. "Do you really believe they will embrace me after everything?" "I know they will," Calder replied, fierce determination igniting in his eyes. "It may take time, but your spirit has already begun to shine through the darkness. Trust in that." She smiled at him, feeling the connection between them pulse like a living thing, vibrant and electric. "Thank you, Calder, for believing in me. I've seen your strength, Mira. You deserve to believe in yourself." He stepped closer, their bodies brushing against each other, and the world around them faded into a soft blur. Tonight was only the beginning. But before their lips could touch, the sound of rustling branches snapped them back to reality. A figure emerged from the shadows, a silhouette that made Mira's heart drop. Theo stepped forward, his brows knitted in concern, but when he caught sight of them, a flicker of something akin to jealousy crossed his face. "Mira, we need to regroup. The pack is worried," Theo said, his voice edged with urgency. They were unsure about how to move forward after Rafe's attack. Mira's heart sank. "They were still doubting me," she murmured, her shoulders slumping. "I thought I had shown them my worth." "The aftermath of battle is always chaos," Theo replied, his tone softening. "But you need to give them time. You've taken a step that few could, and that will resonate. Just let it settle." "Letting it settle feels like a gamble," she said, her voice low. "What if they choose to see me as a threat instead of an ally?" "They want tea?" Calder interjected, his tone resolute. "You fought not only for yourself, but for them, for the Fenwick name. You are part of this pack, Mira." Mira nodded slowly, uncertainty still gnawing at her. "I can fight for a place that might not want me." Calder stepped forward, his fierce gaze unwavering. "Then fight for your truth, fight for the love that binds us, and the loyalty we share as a pack." As they spoke, the pack gathered nearby, the flickering fires casting shadows over their faces. One by one, they approached, the hesitance palpable in the air. Mira felt their eyes upon her, searching, assessing. "Is it true?" the voice called out, breaking the tension. It was Rain, a fierce fighter and one of the oldest members of the pack. "You really stood against Rafe?" Mira took a deep breath, her heart pounding as she stepped forward, meeting Raina's gaze head-on. "I did. I fought not just for myself, but for all of you. I refuse to hide behind my father's sins any longer." The members stood among the pack, but Calder's voice rang out, steady and commanding. "Mira fought for us, for our unity. She stood against betrayal when others cowered. She is a Fenwick, and she deserves our loyalty." A silence settled, heavy and thick, until one wolf, an elder named Eamon, stepped forward. "You wish to be accepted, but can you truly stand by us? Can you fight for our future without the shadow of your past looming over you?" Mira's heart raced, the question echoing in her mind. "I can," she asserted, her voice steady. "I am not my father, and I will not let his darkness define me. I will fight for every one of you, even if it means standing alone." Eamon nodded slowly, and the tension in the air shifted. "Then you have our ears, Mira. Prove to us that your heart is true, but know this, your past will always follow you, and you must learn to carry that weight." "I will," she vowed, feeling the flames of determination spark within her. "I will show you that I am more than a name. I am a warrior." Rain stepped forward, and as she did, a flicker of respect shone in her eyes. "Then let us see if you can prove it. We want to go easy on you, but we'll stand beside you." Mira felt the weight of their gazes shift, questioning but no longer hostile. "Together, we will face whatever comes," she declared, her voice rising with conviction. "I will earn my place among you, not just as the daughter of a killer, but as a sister, a friend." The pack murmured in agreement, the air thick with resolve. And in that moment, Mira felt the bond between them tighten, forged in blood, sweat, and the shared understanding of what it meant to fight for one's truth. But as the night wore on, a chill began to creep into the air, a hint of darkness that could not be ignored. Rafe would return, his words taunted them like a shadow lurking just beyond their view. And the challenge that lay ahead felt less like a looming threat and more like a destiny yet to be fulfilled. As the moon hung high, Calder pulled Mira aside, their fingers entwined. "Whatever happens, we'll all face it together," he promised, his voice low and earnest. "You've ignited something within me, something I didn't know I needed." Her heart soared as words, but doubt still gnawed at her insides. "I fear that my past could unravel everything we've built." Calder's gaze softened, his thumb brushing over her knuckles. "You are not alone in this. We are bonded by more than blood. We are tied by love and loyalty. Trust that." "Trust," she echoed, the word foreign yet comforting. "It is a leap into the unknown, isn't it?" "Every leap is," he replied, his voice steady. "But we'll all catch each other when we fall." And as they stood beneath the blood moon, Mira felt the weight of the world shift. She was not just the daughter of a killer, she was a fierce warrior, a lover, and a beacon of hope. The path ahead would be fraught with challenges, but with Calder by her side, she finally felt ready to embrace her destiny, a destiny shaped by her choices, her actions, and the love that coursed through her veins. Together, they would face whatever the night brought, illuminated by the light of the blood moon, their future intertwined like the branches of the ancient trees surrounding them. And as the wind whispered through the leaves, it carried a promise. They would not be defined by their past, but by the fierce hearts that beat together, united against the darkness.